In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful, and peace be upon you. It's June 11th, Wednesday night in Pakistan, and among today's most important news, firstly, there was a lot of activity in the Islamabad High Court regarding Imran Khan's cases and his release. We'll talk about that. Then Amin Gandapur has made a major statement saying that now they will bring weapons to Islamabad. We'll discuss that as well. Alima Khanum has stated that no, they will not come to Islamabad at all. And along with that, Justice Asif, who was supposed to hear the case, fled from the court. Apart from this, we will also present some updates from the United States. And regarding the federal budget, we will highlight some of the notable actions taken by the government and share some important points from it with you. Then regarding the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa budget, will it be passed without meeting Imran Khan or will it be stopped? We will also discuss this with you. So first of all, let's present to you the proceedings of the Islamabad High Court. As you know, in the previous blog, I also mentioned that the Islamabad High Court has refused to hear the cases of Imran Khan and Bushra Bibi. At first, the cases were not even scheduled and there were repeated protests. After the protests, when the cases were finally scheduled, they were dragged out all the way until Eid. They were set for the last day of Eid, and on that day, without hearing the cases, they were postponed until after Eid. Now, after Eid, when the courts reopened, and the hearing was scheduled again for today, it turned out that the judge had gone on leave, meaning the judge isn't even present. Justice Asif's story is quite strange as well. Justice Asif was appointed as a temporary interim judge in the Balochistan High Court. If you recall, Qasim Suri had tweeted about it, and within just 10 days, he was transferred from there and made a permanent judge of sorts in the Islamabad High Court. So just consider this journey. Chaudhry Nizamuddin installed him in the Balochistan High Court, and within just 10 days he was removed from there, and even there he was an interim judge, temporary appointment, and brought to the Islamabad High Court. Now in the Islamabad High Court, he has been placed on the very bench that is supposed to make decisions or hear cases related to Imran Khan. You can judge for yourself, given the journey he has madan at lightning speed, what kind of hearings he will conduct in Imran Khan's cases, and what he would want to hear. In any case, today he was absent from the court. Because of his absence, the bench was dissolved and the court did not hear those cases today either. So that was the judicial story. Keep in mind that today Pakistan broke its temperature record, the highest in decades, reaching 50 degrees Celsius in Sargodha, Khushab, Bhakkar and surrounding areas, as had been predicted. Obviously that means it must have been around 47 or 48 degrees in Rawalpindi as well. In these conditions, Imran Khan is imprisoned in a small cell, and it is often reported that even the fan is turned off. Meanwhile, outside, the courts are refusing to hear his cases under these circumstances. Obviously, as a party, we don't have the kind of effective policy that we should, whether it's a policy for protest or even the policy our members of parliament should have. It's not effective. And if we criticize this, we get harshly reprimanded and people get angry with us. Many friends say to me, why don't you come here? Come to Pakistan and do it yourself. You're sitting over there and just talking. You don't know that protest can't happen here. I tell those friends, well, you do come here for vacations and trips, so why don't you just stay here? I've told them many times before, you travel to America, the UK, and other places for leisure. So next time, please, when you come, just stay with us and let someone else back home take on these responsibilities, those who can actually protest. So instead of taunting us that we're sitting abroad and not doing anything, I want you to come abroad too and also do nothing. And in this way, you can experience exactly what we've gone through so that you can't go back either. We can't even go back and we don't have anyone left there to speak for us. I mean, everything is banned, passports, ID cards, even our relatives' savory thing is restricted over there. At least you can still breathe over there. Even while living there, I understand that in order for you to keep breathing, it's necessary for you not to get involved in all these things or not to take the protest beyond a certain level so that Chaudhry Sahib doesn't get upset or so that his displeasure doesn't reach you. That's understandable. So for that reason, it's better for you to arrange something effective, sustainable, and long-term for your own peace and stability. As long as you remain in those positions, the public will keep questioning you because the leader of the people, Imran Khan, is locked up in a cell where even the fan has been turned off and where the temperature, as you all know, is. And in these circumstances, the public will ask questions. When you don't answer those questions, you will be criticized. If you are criticized, then the same cycle will start all over again that you are sitting abroad and making comments from there. Ask us. When we look at it, it seems to us that your life is at least 72 times better than ours. You don't have any such obstacles regarding property or assets. You don't have any family obstacles either. 99% of you sleep in your own homes and get up from your own homes to go to work. I'm not saying your life is completely normal. You have also endured a lot of fascism. You are also suffering. A lot is happening to you as well. But at the very least, your life is still much, much better than ours. The part of your life that is related to Pakistan is about 70%. So either we will have to separate ourselves from this position, or we will have to come up with some plan of action related to Imran Khan. As for Justice Asif and Justice so-and-so and all those others, the journalists brought them in so that they wouldn't hear the cases. No matter how many times you meet them, they will not hear your cases. Yes, you should meet them. I'm not saying you shouldn't. You definitely should meet them. Pressure should also be built. But if you get bail in one case, they will arrest you in another case and put you back inside. And they will register another case against you. You can see for yourself, they have made the May 9th case and hundreds of other cases against Imran Khan. If we secure release in one, they will start proceedings in another. So until an effective method of protest is adopted, until a proper course of action is provided, and that of course has to come from the leadership, from those who hold positions, and as I'm repeating for the third time, if you cannot provide this, then make proper arrangements for your own peace of mind, and you should step aside and someone else should take on this responsibility who can actually do it. Because there are only two solutions. One is that we provide an effective course of action, and the other is that we step aside. This so-called third solution, where we just sit around and also fail to provide an effective solution, is not a solution at all. In this scenario, Imran Khan will remain in jail indefinitely, and the people outside will continue to feel helpless and abandoned. So this situation cannot be called a solution. So this is one situation that exists there. Today, once again, Mr. Gandapur has spoken. Let's first listen to what he said there. Also, Ms. Alima Khan is saying something. Please listen to that as well. So let's listen to this segment.
Our declaration is clear. If you shoot at us last time, we took the bullets. We were unarmed this time. We will come on, brother. It's simple. We will retaliate as well.
God willing, this is not a joke. So we will come. This country is ours. This will not be tolerated.
Our country is truly ours.
Did you hear that? Gandapur Sahib is saying that next time, first of all, you must not cut this part. You have to air it, told the media. And he said that now when we come, we will come armed. If you shoot at us, we will shoot back. This is not the first time. He said that he has said this once, twice, 3 times before, and it has been aired on the media before as well. I don't know why he was complaining that his statement doesn't get aired. I have already seen it aired on the media. And he has said this more than once in his speeches at rallies and in other places too. This is not the first time he's saying this. But I don't understand this point. I don't understand it, because if we come armed, then there's a whole army ahead of us. How will you fight them? That's an army of 700,000. Our strength is political strength. Our strength is, you could say, a peaceful strength. The strength of an ideology, a political struggle. In the world, in political struggles, and those groups that become agitated or take up arms like the BLA and others that are currently active in the country, groups or terrorist organizations that practice the politics of the gun, and then gun is met with gun. Well, you've seen what happened with the Tamil Tigers in Sri Lanka and other such examples. When extremist groups take up arms, the state confronts them. Imran Khan's party obviously is a political party purely, and its entire movement is clearly non-violent. Now, some emotional people might say, yes, Mr. Gal, you're wrong. Here, guns must be met with guns. These are emotional arguments. But a political party does not take up arms. It is not the job of a political party to take up arms. The day it does, the very strength it has is lost. Now, it is always those groups that take up arms which lack public support, or have very little of it, or are fighting against an enemy country. Here it's true. The Field Marshal has created conditions for us as if we are citizens of an enemy country, or as if all the people of our party are from an enemy nation. But still, in the end, it's not actually an enemy country doing this. It's just a few individuals, zone 2, 4, 5, 6 people at the top who are doing this. But at the end of the day, the army is ours, the country is ours, the police are ours, all these people are ours. So if the largest party in the country, the one with the highest percentage, says that we will take up arms, then just think about what message that sends. And the day we are accused of taking up arms and becoming an extremist group, the strength we have, the whole of Pakistan standing with us, just imagine how quickly so many people would distance themselves from us. So this kind of thinking which Gandapur Sahib expressed, of course, I'm not saying he deliberately said something wrong, obviously. He spoke out of emotion because of the injustices that have happened. And that sentiment is understandable because he has witnessed a lot of injustice firsthand. Or perhaps he spoke out of sheer emotion, or maybe because of being imprisoned, I don't know. But this stance is not correct. Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf can never endorse this. Imran Khan will never endorse this. And it is neither the ideology of Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, nor will Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf ever take up arms. Along with that, you heard that Alima Bibi kept saying, and she interjected at the right moment, effectively and timely, that this time Imran Khan has even forbidden us from coming to Islamabad. So what weapons would we even bring? Meaning we're not even coming to Islamabad, and here they're talking about shooting bullets. So the idea of bringing about reform is now completely irrelevant. If we're not coming to Islamabad at all, then what reform are they even talking about? So in a way, she indirectly refuted this point. Obviously, the chief minister was speaking and presenting his own point of view, and she was presenting hers. So all these things needed to be laid out before you. Now, let's talk a little about the budget, and then there are one or two other issues we need to discuss. If we talk about the budget, they have taken some truly astonishing actions. For one, they have cut the Human Rights Division's budget by 75%. Clearly, the Field Marshal has no interest in human rights. He wants to turn Pakistan into an animal kingdom, a jungle on the map of the world. If he had any concern for Pakistan, he would have thought differently. So in the human rights budget, the reduction is truly shocking. There has been a 75% reduction. In the Human Rights Division, I think there are more than 100 officer positions that have been cut. So the Human Rights Division's budget has been reduced by 75%, while the Defense Division's budget has been increased by 110%. That's only natural. If the Human Rights Division's budget is being cut, it has to go somewhere. So it's gone to the Defense Division, which has received a 110% increase in its budget. The budget for the Higher Education Commission has been reduced by 36%. Apparently, there's no need for education. You know, our Field Marshal was saying that this isn't brain drain, it's brain gain. So when your understanding about education, about science, about brain drain is so remarkable and so amusing, then honestly, you really don't need higher education at all. Honestly, my advice is, sir, with what you want to do and the kind of people you brought along in these circumstances, you tell me, is there really any need for higher education? So your very effective decision is that 36%, right? Higher education means colleges, universities, anywhere there's research or any education related to higher degrees. Even medical colleges, so I don't think there's any need for it. These poor doctors from Pakistan work so hard here, and then people think that once they go to America, it's easy for them to become doctors there. But here, it takes them a lifetime just to study. Over there, you complete your medical profession in 5 years. And after that, preparing for the USMLE steps is a whole new ordeal. They go through that torment and after much struggle, finally reach America. But then there's another river to cross first. There's the matching process, and then they have just a little money to get by. For 3 or 4 years, they have to do extensive work, and the kind of work they have to do so many hours that a person ages 10 years just from that experience. After all that, when they finally get through, they move on to pursue a fellowship. And only then do they actually start their profession. But people only see that they're earning money after that. They don't see the entire struggle that went on for decades. And I'm not just using a figure of speech. It's literally decades of struggle. On the other hand, our Baji sister here doesn't even manage to graduate from these same medical colleges, in fact. She fails out of Themand, yet she's put in charge of all of them. She's sitting on top of all the hospitals in Punjab, all the medical colleges in Punjab, all the universities in Punjab, and her respected uncle is sitting on top of all the institutions in Pakistan. Anyway, so it's good that you're also cutting the budget of the Higher Education Commission. You're reducing the budget for higher education. Because if you cut the Higher Education Commission's budget, then your way of doing things will continue. Otherwise, people start asking questions, they gain awareness through education, and that's a big problem for you. The budget for the Federal Capital Division has been increased by 300%. That's fine too. The Federal Cabinet Division will issue notifications for your whims, and overnight it will create all sorts of haphazard laws for you. How to get the 26th constitutional amendment passed, how to get the 27th passed, how to manipulate the law in a timely manner if tomorrow you want to impose martial law effectively. You already have. But overall, if after the Field Marshal you want to dominate the nation in a new way, then this is the very division that has to do this work. That's right, this too is your decision. You have increased the budget by 300% while you have reduced the budget for the Industries and Production Division by 55%. What's the need for production anyway? There's already a brain gain happening. It's not like there's a brain drain. So given the kind of brain gain we have, I don't really see the logic in increasing industries and production. In the Ministry of Interior, your brother-in-law who's running the ministry, so the ministry of the brother-in-law has had its budget increased by 50%. This is absolutely correct. It should be done. But your brother-in-law, if he has a budget, then all the disruptive activities like those bullets that were fired into people's heads now, the impact of that bullet would have been on just one head. Next time, provide them with such bullets by increasing the budget so that when fired into one head, it passes through 10 heads and goes even further. So for this kind of effective success, obviously, and all the lobbying you have to do abroad, all of that is also handled by your brother-in-law. So this budget, you've absolutely taught it correctly. We commend you for doing all this. In all this, the National Food Security Division's budget has been cut by 84%. That's also fine when there is no food being produced in the country. All the crops of the farmers have already been destroyed. Your record wheat production has decreased. Your record sugarcane production has decreased. Your record cotton production has decreased. And the import of cotton has increased by several 100%. So when there is no grain being produced in the country, when there is no food at all, then why spend so much money on its security? Absolutely right, Field Marshal Sir. You have done exactly the right thing. You have also reduced this by 84%. When there is no food in the country, then spending money on its security is just a waste. You have done a great job. As for the budget of the tout judiciary, for judges like Justice Asif, you have made a 0% increase in their budget. You did exactly the right thing. Just look at how effectively they dealt with 34,000 people during May 9. They arrested them, prosecuted them, kept innocent people in jails. Even women were in prison. So there is performance, right? 0% increase. But at the same time, the Punjab police and Rangers, their budget should also have been increased, considering the kind of oppression they carried out. I mean, their increase should also be 0%, not less than that, because their performance is just the same. Let's move on to the National Health Services Division. Yes, the National Health Services Division, which is responsible for your vaccines, all your health policies, your drug policies, all these things, and all your federal hospitals that they have to oversee. Obviously, they also handle your accreditations, international ones like when doctors go to America or elsewhere. Obviously, all the coordination with governments and everything else has to be handled by them. Absolutely, you heard right, even in the budget for the National Health Services Division, you have made a 40% cut. That's a great move. Why unnecessarily send doctors abroad? Let them stay in Pakistan. What do they even do after going abroad? And secondly, all the work happening in Pakistan is pointless anyway. In fact, I'd say just shut down the entire health sector. Whoever is destined to survive will survive. And when their time is up, it's up. And as for Field Marshal Sahib, there's even a relevant verse about patience and meeting Allah. Let's just recite that for you, since you don't need treatment anyway. So in my opinion, just close down the hospitals altogether. Assign the doctors to some other work and end research altogether. You've already done away with higher education as well. You've cut the National Health Services Division's budget by about 40%, just like that. Yes, but there is one thing you've actually done quite well. For that, you truly deserve praise. The Cultural Division, whether it's dance, music, or culture, and I'm not referring to dance and music in a derogatory way. I'm simply saying that in dance, art, and drama, you've increased the budget by 7%. You've done a very good job. But I think if this is actually going to benefit the artist, if this support for art, craft, and dance is going to move forward, then that's a very good thing. But I feel that maybe DG Aspire Sahib will also use this budget. Like on the third day when Sahir Ali Baga Sahib releases a new song. So I think behind Baga Sahib's Ya 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 Ya, there have to be tabla drums playing, and we have to get that 7% increase in there somehow. Baga Sahib plays such huge tablas that in my opinion, you'd have to stuff the budget inside those drums just to close them. And you'd have to fill up that ring of his as well. The tablas are a bit too big. I think if you put the budget inside those tablas, that's something to see. Let's move on. We've done another really great thing. We've increased the budget for dance, music, art, craft, drama, and film by 60%, which is fine. I'm not saying it shouldn't have been done. But the place from where you took the money to do this, that's amazing. It's excellent. I'd say there couldn't have been a better arrangement than this. Listen to this. The budget for the Atomic Energy Commission has been cut by 99.7%. In other words, it's been cut by 100%. 99.7%, basically 100%, has been slashed. Their budget has almost been eliminated. Yes, I'm talking about the Atomic Energy Commission, the one that gave you the big bomb, the atom bomb, because of which, to some extent, we still have a bit of leverage. Things still work out for us, and no one dares to attack us outright. So they've made a little cut there. But it's fine. What do we need bombs for anyway? Our Field Marshal himself is a bomb. Whichever way he turns, he'll breathe fire, and the country will destroy itself. On top of that, we've now made him Field Marshal. What's an atom bomb compared to a Field Marshal? The Field Marshal is more effective, more lethal, more destructive, and he's a kind of dirty bomb. Wherever he lands, he'll wreak havoc. So with him around, who needs an atom bomb, and why should we spend on the Atomic Energy Commission? That's why there's been a 99.7% cut, but the media budget has been increased by 50%. Yes, because we have to run advertisements, right? If we advertise, people will know whether something is happening here or not. So we'll run ads, and for this purpose, we've increased the media budget by 50%. On one hand, Sahir Ali Baga will compose songs. On the other, we'll run ads and keep fooling the nation. And thirdly, the budget for the Nuclear Regulatory Authority has also been eliminated. Yes, the Atomic Energy Commission's budget has been cut, and the other department, the Nuclear Regulatory Authority, its budget has also been eliminated. There's just no need for these things. Yes, the Parliamentary Affairs Division has been given 2,500 million, meaning their budget has been increased recklessly. Parliamentary Affairs have to keep running, right? We still have to get the 27th Amendment passed overnight by gathering members together, arranging for food, flight tickets, chartered planes, all of that. We'll round up all the chicks from wherever we can and get them to vote for us. So they've given 2,500 million to parliamentary affairs. Similarly, they've reduced the tax on buying property, but increased the tax on selling property. Give a round of applause for this interesting strategy. This is how they plan to bring investment into the country. Lower tax on buying property, higher tax on selling property. Take with one hand, give with the other. Very effective. Investment is at its lowest level in 50 years, but the stock exchange is at its highest. You must be wondering what kind of trickery this is. Investment is at a historic lowest in 70 or 50 years, while the stock exchange is at a record high. Let me tell you the reason for this. The reason is that the government has been taking out loans from local banks at a 22% interest rate, which you will have to pay back, not the government, but the common people. Obviously, banks are making billions and trillions in profit, and the price of bank shares is rising, which is why the stock exchange is rocketing. Just like in America, where the NASDAQ goes up and down because of technology-related companies, the Karachi Stock Exchange goes up and down mainly because of bank shares. So when banks are making trillions of rupees, for example, in just 10 months, 57 kharab, 570 billion, 57 trillion and 36 billion, 36 Arab, 3.6 billion in loans have been taken. So this 57K, the 36 billion in loans that have been taken, all of this debt, you have to pay it back to the banks, and it's been taken at a very high interest rate. That high interest rate is going straight to the banks. It's their pure profit. Nowhere else in the world are banks making as much profit as they are in Pakistan right now. So in these circumstances, just think for yourself, the stock exchange is bound to go crazy because there are only a few stocks, and when the banks go up, the whole thing goes wild. In the next fiscal year, local banks are set to receive about 7,000 billion in loan repayments and interest payments. Pakistani banks are going to collect 7,000 billion from the government in the next fiscal year. So just think for yourself. When all this is happening with 7,000 billion, ask yourself where things are headed. Will the stock exchange go up or not? What they did with e-commerce and other things, we'll talk about that in the next vlogs. For now, this discussion has gotten long, but the best budget is being made by Field Marshal Saib. Allow me to take my leave now. May Allah be your protector and helper. Long life Pakistan.